Yo, what's good everyone? This is Shield. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Today we are going to react to Africa's $5 billion mega dam that will block the Nile. We've been doing a little bit more of architectural mega projects, planning videos as well as we start to see the feats of humanity here. If you're new here, like I said, my name is Shields and we do videos all around humanities, evolution, science, history, all that you can think of, culture. The part of this channel is to enrich our knowledge throughout the entire world. So today we're going to be reacting to this video, a new channel. So props to the channel. We'll have the original content in the description below if you want to go watch it without my reaction. But the Nile River, I don't really, this is pretty much a curiosity click right here. The Nile River, of course, being such a significant part of human history, specifically the Egyptian dynasties, but really a lot of the Eastern African continent relied heavily on this river when it comes to their cities, their for trade, for food, for water, etc. So yeah, so I'm kind of what I'm going to be doing in this video is kind of first kind of understand the reason why we're doing this project. Why are we blocking the Nile? Is it some flooding situations that are happening? Where is this happening? What countries is it affecting, and when will this be completed? So let's jump right into it. Hit that like button. Let it go.
This dam is absolutely huge. The reservoir behind it will be roughly the same size as London.
Oh.
While the dam itself will be twice as tall as the Golden Gate Bridge. Welcome to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's going to be in Ethiopia.
Epic name for an epic feat of engineering. It's decades in the making and forms part of the country's so-called economic miracle, largely because it has the potential to lift millions of people out of poverty. But
Really?
It could also be the dangerous spark that ignites a whole new conflict in the region.
Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia are at odds over who controls the world's longest river.
A fight
I think it should just be territorial, right?
for the Nile. This is the largest dam in Africa, so large it has its own classification. It's a MegaDam.
Not just dam, mega dam.
Mega what?
Once complete, it'll produce over 5,000 megawatts of electricity.
Is that good? I'm not versed on the scale of electricity voltage.
More than double Ethiopia's current output today.
I'm guessing
and
that's
its
good.
reservoir will hold 74 billion cubic meters of water.
Wow.
The numbers here don't get any less.
So we just got like a quarry that we built it into. Looks like.
It's overwhelming. The dam itself is made of 10 million cubic meters of roller compacted concrete and is set to include 2 power stations, 3 spillways, and a saddle dam. The main dam itself will be 145 meters deep by 1.7 kilometers long, while the saddle dam supporting the main structure will be an astonishing 4.8 kilometers long by 45 meters high.
Okay, so this is like where a lot of the size comes from this dam that does not have the spillways in it. Because when I think of dam, usually I'm thinking of like the spillways and the water coming into a certain area, whether it be a reservoir, etc. But kind of opening my eyes a little bit more to what is actually a dam.
There'll be 2 outdoor power stations on either bank of the river, with the capacity to generate roughly 2,000 to 3,700 megawatts of power. The first step on the journey to build something as enormous as this kind of sets the tone for the rest of the project. The casual diversion of the Blue Nile River in 2013. Now, as dramatic as that sounds, it's actually pretty common when building dams. Here's how it works. Most dams are built over rivers, but to pour concrete you need a dry working area. So diversion channels or tunnels are formed around the side of a dam's location for the period of its construction.
Makes
If you're going
sense.
through hard rock, then explosives are normally used to clear a path,
Yep.
while soft soils and rocks are excavated.
Yep.
Once there's a dry space for workers, foundations are laid. They have to be strong enough to withstand the weight of the dam and the enormous water pressures acting on them. As we said, the Renaissance Dam will be 145 metres deep, almost the height of a skyscraper, and that 74 billion cubic metres of water behind it will create a lot of pressure.
Yep.
Those foundations absolutely cannot leak, so the soil and rocks in the ground below the dam have to be strength tested and are sometimes removed and replaced with stronger materials. Once a dam is complete and in place, the diversion channels around it are blocked, and water typically builds into a reservoir behind the dam structure. That's exactly what happened at the Hoover Dam on the Arizona-Nevada border. Water is let through openings in the dam as necessary, and often harnessed for high...
Such an amazing picture right there. I think this is now this is gonna sound very lame. This is the final shot in final not final Fast 10, the movie, part 1.
hydroelectric power. The immense scale of the Renaissance Dam has likely required special on-site concrete patching plants to be established close to the worksite. They help to increase efficiency and can ensure more control over the delivery of materials, something that's essential once you've started a big concrete pour. But a lot of the construction details for the Renaissance Dam have been kept under wraps, and that's all due to the somewhat fragile political nature of this project. You see, the dam is being built here on the Blue Nile, just 30 kilometres upstream from the Sudan border, and it's caused fierce debate over exactly who owns the Nile and the water flowing in it.
Egypt's President Sisi says the Nile is a question of life, a matter of existence to Egypt.
It's worried that its share of the water will be reduced when Ethiopia starts to fill the massive dam.
There is no Egypt without water. We either have water or there is no future for us.
Further downriver is Egypt, and Egypt's pretty much entirely built around the Nile.
Yep.
An astounding 85% of the country's water comes from just this one source, and some 95% of the country's population live within a few kilometres of this famous river.
And it's been that way for the last 4,000 or 5,000 years.
Canals from the Nile irrigate farms and support cities, agriculture and fishing. The Nile has breathed life into this desert region for thousands of years. And if something were to happen to jeopardise that water source, well, the consequences could be disastrous. And Egypt knows this. Now, to design any kind of dam, let alone a mega dam with a reservoir the size of London, you need a pretty solid grasp on engineering and maths. While the way you learn to solve equations at school may have been a bit daunting, today's video sponsor Brilliant.org teaches subjects like maths, science and engineering in a hands-on and visual way. The program standing with brilliant notes and by the first description region are high, and this dam seems to be at the...
Just such an interesting, thought, because, in America we kind of luxury because, we have like famous rivers like the Mississippi River, and there's not really like who controls the Mississippi. It's more or less like a coalition of states that keep it up over a federal mandate and regulations, the EPA, etc. So when you talk about countries, the rivers that run through Europe, run through Asia, and run through Africa and South America, these different continents that have more countries in these in these regions that are fighting over resources, it makes it very difficult to make decisions around this. And are there structures and regulations on a United Nations level to prevent circumvention of these rules? I don't know.
Center of it. Egypt was even reportedly prepared to bomb it to
God dang!
protect their stake in the Nile. So why
That's just hot air.
would Ethiopia risk a potential war all for a shiny new dam? Well, its government is hoping this mega project will actually help lift the entire country out of poverty. Half of all Ethiopians today don't have access to electricity. The dam is going to change that. The country is already on the fast track
Hydroelectric.
to achieving its economic goals. Ethiopia has become Africa's fastest growing economy, in part boosted by massive investment in infrastructure. During this period of transformational growth, Ethiopia has managed to reduce the number of people living in extreme poverty dramatically. From over 50% of the population.
I mean, this is such a great idea. I mean, we did this similarly in the 1930s for the New Deal, with the new hydroelectric power being part of the, what's it called? I'm forgetting the words. But when we're building these mega structures, yeah, hydroelectric dams just made sense, and we did that with the TVA. But regardless, you know, they just need to run some studies, and I'm sure that I'm just talking and yapping here, but they just need to run some studies to say, hey, how much water is going to be actually diverted or not present in terms of the cubic square meters over a period of 2 years or whatever, and like forecast it by maybe measuring for a month or measuring for a week and seeing the difference in water, and then calculate it out and say, is this going to be, at a disadvantage for Egypt? And if it is going to be a disadvantage for Egypt, give them something. Give them something. Taketh, you giveth. So, yeah.
Population to 31%. It's been called the Ethiopian economic.
So this might be is this their Hail Mary? Is this like a Hail Mary for them to get out of poverty?
Miracle, and is becoming a model for other African countries. Major infrastructure projects play such an important role in this process. For its part, Ethiopia has argued that the effects of the dam are going to be minimal on the countries that are downstream, while the benefits will be plentiful and can be shared.
They own the water, the source of the Nile, though. They own the source of the Nile when it comes to that territory. I guess it just becomes more of a humanitarian process here. And like I said, if you take water away from Sudan and Egypt, in this case, figure a way to help them out, so there won't be too much tension.
But the debate over who can lay claim to the waters continues. Today, talks between the countries have almost completely broken down, with no agreement met, despite the dam now being 90% complete and scheduled to be filled within 3 years. Whatever the outcome, this is a piece of infrastructure that's likely to reshape more than just rivers in the region.
Yeah, I think that's the video, guys. Like I said, what do you guys think? I mean, as long as Ethiopia kind of like helps out Sudan or Egypt in some partnership way, whether it be pledged to protect, whether it be an alliance of some sort, whether it be a resource agreement or a trade agreement, there's ways to because think about it, for hundreds or thousands of years, Egypt has relied on this water, and this is exactly part of their existence. And if it becomes a humanitarian effort, that could be a huge thing to look at from a UN basis. But, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you made it this far, I implore you to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys watching this video with me. Let me know if you have any video you want me to react to. And until next time, peace out. Bye-bye.